The next gland is thymus. Okay. So already we discussed about the hypothalamus, pituitary gland, thyroid gland, and parathyroid. Next one is the thymus. The thymus, it is one of the important organ in the body. It is one of the important organ in the body, and it acts as one of the endocrinal gland we are taking. How the thymus is involving and what type of the secretion they are producing into the body means we are taking into the thymus is producing into the thymosin. Actually, it is a peptidal hormone. Okay, it is a peptidal hormone. It produces into the thymosin here. So, what is the major function and what is the position and what are the specifications of the thymus we are taking, sir? So, first of all, we are taking into the thymus. The position of the thymus we are taking, sir. It is a lobulated structure. It is a lobulated structure and present in above the heart. That means above the heart and below the breastbone in mediastinum. So breastbone is nothing but as at the sternal portion we are taking, the sternal plate we are taking. So there below we are taking means in the mediastinum region above the heart, on the above the heart. Okay, on the above the level of the heart we are taking means a lobulated structure we can be appears in the thymus. This is the one lobe and this is another lobe. A lobulated structure is forming in the case of the thymus we are. This is the position of the thymus we are taking. And this lobulated structure. So initially at the age of the children's we are taking means it is a smaller in size. The size of the thymus we are taking means smaller when we are taking into the at the time of the birth we are taking means the newborn babies and their body, the thymus structure, the thymus size becomes into the very smaller here, and it is going to rising and reaches into the maximum at the age of the puberty. So at the age of the puberty the size will be the maximum, max here. Size is the maximum we are taking. After the puberty, it is going to reduce. That means the old age. That means aging process. It becomes into the size is going to reduce here. Reduced. That means. So what is this mean of the size related into the thymus? Why we are specifically discussing about into the size of the thymus means here we are taking into the puberty state. It becomes into the maximum in the size. That means it produces into the maximum thymosin hormone. The concentration, the secretion of the thymosin is the maximum in the adult we are taking. Okay. In the case of the children and the aged people, old age people we are going to take means it is going to attruped. That means reducing into their sizes we are taking. These two lobes are reducing into their sizes here. So that only the aged people, the thymosin concentration is going to slowly decreasing. Okay, it is going to decreasing here. Here the thymosin is involving in this peptidal hormone we are taking. It is involving in the immune system of body. So how the thymus or the thymosin is involving? So that only the thymus is also called as one of the immune organ. Okay, it is one of the immune organ we are taking. It is also considered as an immune organ. So how it is involving into the immune system means the thymosin, the thymus producing secretion, the thymosin, it is responsible for the activation of T lymphocytes here. That means the T lymphocytes are developed with the help of the thymosin only. Okay, the T lymphocytes are developed. That means they are proliferating and they are developing, maturating. So, and the influence of the thymosin hormone only. And these T lymphocytes are involved in the cell mediated immunity. We are taking means the cell mediated immunity in the body is performing by the T lymphocytes. Those are developing with the help of the thymosin, the influence of the thymosin. So like this, the thymus and the thymosin, they are involving into the immune system to getting of the immunity, strengthening of the body immunity. The thymus is placing into the major role here. Okay, not only that, here the thymosin is also involving the humoral immunity also. Humoral immunity, that means antibody production. Yeah, that means antibody production. The antibody production is also conducted in the influence of the thymosin in the body. Yeah, that means antibodies also, they are generated, they are producing. From where to these are producing? B lymphocytes. So B cells, generally called as the B cells. The T lymphocytes are called as the T cells. Here we are taking it. The B cells are producing into the antibodies here. The corresponding antibodies are produced whenever they are infected, the pathogens are enters into the body. So that time the antibody productivity is also influencing by the thymosin only. Okay, so this is nothing but as a humoral immunity. So this process is called as a humoral immunity here. So in this humoral immunity and as well as the cell mediated immunity, totally the immune system, immunity process we are taking means it is influencing by the thymosin here. So this is a specification of the thymus and the thymosin we are taking. This secretion thymosin we are taking. So that only whether we are taking into the thymosin concentration into the children and the old age people, less in the concentration. The middle age, that is into the adults we are taking means more in the concentration. Suppose we are observed into these two people, that is the children and the aged people, the immunity power, that is the resistance against the pathogen, the immune strength we are taking means lesser compared to the adults. So in that too we are taking, so old age people are having the very poor immunity system we are taking. Their immune strength is becomes into the very less we are taking. So why it is? Because of the thymus follicle. These lobes are forming by the number of follicles. Okay, so these follicles are going to atroped. That means they are going to reducing here in the slowly. So automatically old age people, the thymosin is not properly secreting. So they are having into the poor immune resistance they are having. Okay, so this is regarding to the thymus we are taking. So that only aged people very easily infected by the number of the disease causing pathogens. Very easily that. So actually the NCERT and the NEET program we are taking means based on into the applications of the thymosin and the immune system. So they are asking into the question, not directly, indirectly they are asking into the questions we are taking. So children's, adults and the old age people, fourth option we are taking, so all the above. So which of the following is having into the maximum immune resistance, like that they are asking. Okay, so that time we are giving into the puberty stage, adults we are taking, they are having the maximum. Poor means old age people we are taking. So this is regarding to the thymus we are. The next gland is the adrenal gland we are taking means. Next one is the adrenal gland. Here adrenal gland we are taking means it is also called as a suprarenal gland. It is also one of the endocrine gland only. The other name of the adrenal gland is called as a suprarenal gland. How many adrenal glands are presented? Here, a pair of adrenal glands are presented in the human body we are taking. So where these are presented, we are taking into the kidneys. The human kidneys we are taking, sir. These are forming a cap-like structure on the above of the kidneys we are taking. These are a cap-like structure. So that only we given the name of the suprarenal glands. These are supra means on the above of the each kidney. Both the two kidneys we are having, two adrenal glands we are having. Okay, pair of the adrenal glands we are having. So whether you are taking into the adrenal gland, here the adrenal gland take means it is having into the two specific regions are presented here. Those are peripheral region and the central region. Your take means peripheral region and the central region. The peripheral region is called as a, or the lateral region is called as a cortex. So this region is called as a cortex here, and this is the region is called as a medulla region. Okay, so cortex region, medulla region here. So the cortex region is originating from the one in the embryonic development, one region, one structure. It is originating into the cortex region. Medulla is originating from the another in the embryonic developmental stages, another region from the embryonic development. So that only the adrenal gland we are taking, sir, it is a diorigin. It is also two differently originating structure, differently. So differently originating structure. So whether you are taking the cortex is originating from the mesoderm. You are taking means from the mesoderm of the embryo is giving into the cortex region. It is developing the cortex region. And medullary region we are taking ectoderm. From the ectoderm to the medullary region is originating here. So it is a differentially originating structure. Okay, it is a differentially originating structure we are taking. So then we are taking into their shape and the structure. So generally here it is a cap-like structure. So that only it is covering into the anterior or the dorsal side of the kidney we are taking. Okay, it is covering into the dorsal upper side of the kidney, so forming as a cap-like structure. Here the cortex region is secreting into some of the secretion, some of the specific secretions are releasing, and medullary region we are taking some of the specific secretions are producing here. What are those secretions and what is their specification? One by one can be studied. First of all, we are taking the adrenal cortex. Adrenal cortex region. Generally, adrenal cortex region, whatever it is, the secretions are producing, hormonal secretions only they are releasing. These are called as a corticoids. These are what generally called as a corticoids. So these are producing into the hormones. Those are commonly called as a corticoids here. So what type of the secretion they are producing means, so based on into the anatomical differences we are taking means, the cortex is differentiated into the three zones here. Okay, the cortex is differentiated into the three zones. What are those? Zona glomerulus, zona fascicularis, zona reticularis. Okay, so these are into the three zones are present: zona glomerulus, zona fascicularis and the zona reticularis. Where these are distributed means this is the outer, this is the outer, this is the middle, and this is into the inner zone here. Inner zone. So whether you are taking into the structure of the thymus, we are taking adrenal gland, we are taking means the structure of the adrenal gland we are taking means here the cortex region, the outer zone, whatever it is there, the peripheral side, this portion is called as a zona glomerulus here. This portion is called as a zona, outer one is called as a zona glomerulus. And the middle portion, the middle part of the cortex now. So the middle part of the cortex is called as a zona fascicularis. And the innermost part we are taking means the inner part, reticularis it is. This is called as a reticularis. So here like these three specific zones are presented into the adrenal cortex region. Okay. And one by one and the specification we are taking means. So first of all, the zona glomerularis we are taking means this zone. So we are taking means it is a peripheral side of the cortex and it producing the mineral corticoids. So it produces the mineral corticoids are producing here. So these mineral corticoids are maintain the electrolyte balance. So the electrolyte balance is maintained by the mineral corticoids here. So in these mineral corticoids, aldosterone, it is a chief content of the mineral corticoid is the aldosterone we are taking. Aldosterone. So this is the 90% of the mineral corticoids are from the aldosterone. Here, what is the major function of the mineral corticoid means? These are maintains the electrolyte balance. That means the body fluid concentration balance is maintained by the mineral corticoids only. How they are maintained means the sodium ions and water reabsorption process. The sodium ions and the water reabsorption is maintained by these mineral corticoids by the producing of the aldosterone. Actually, aldosterone is produces whenever the heart beat, that is the blood pressure is going to, BP is going to less, reducing. So it leads to the angiotensin 2 activation. First one, angiotensin 1 is produces, activated, then it is going to cascade reaction, angiotensin 2 is going to activated here. So that time angiotensin, the influence of the angiotensin 2, so it produces the aldosterone. Already in the there into the excretory system itself we are discussed about into the Ross cycle, the Ross mechanism. Okay. So there we are taking aldosterone is influencing by the angiotensin 2. When it is occurs, blood pressure is going to decreasing. So blood pressure is going to decreasing. That time, so to reabsorb into the sodium and the water molecules. Okay. So to prevent the loss of the sodium and the water molecule, the reabsorption of the sodium and the water, the mineral corticoids are involving here. And not only that, here we are taking means the potassium, the excessive amount of the potassium and the phosphate ions. The phosphate ions removal. The removal of potassium and the phosphate ion from the body is also under the control of the mineral corticoids only. Suppose in the any one of the person we are taking means we are removed or we are distracted into the adrenal cortex, that person is going to kill. That means he is going to die slowly, because the accumulation of the and imbalancing of the electrolyte in the body we are taking means. So that is this is regarding to the zona glomerulus and it produces the mineral corticoids we are taking means. Another zone, zona fascicularis we are taking means the adrenal cortex. So the zona fascicularis we are taking means here it produces into the glucocorticoids. It secretes into the glucocorticoids. Glucocorticoids. What is the specification of these glucocorticoids means these are involving the metabolism of carbohydrates. The carbohydrate metabolism is under the control of the glucocorticoids only, and these are also called as a life saving hormone. The glucocorticoids also called as a life saving hormones here. Okay, so why we given the name of the life saving hormone and what are the glucocorticoids means the chief components of the glucocorticoids is cortisol. We are taking cortisol here. This is the major content it presented into the glucocorticoid is the cortisols only. So these cortisols, how these are involving into the body metabolic functions means the glucocorticoids, whenever the glucose levels in body we are taking means the glucose levels in the body is going to decreasing. That time from the glycogen or proteins or lipids, lipolysis, proteolysis, glyconeogenesis we are taking means. Okay, so the glycogen is going to again back to the glucose form, that is a glyconeogenesis we are taking. So those are conducting with the help of the glucocorticoids only. So when it is occurs, glucose levels in the body going to decreasing. Whenever the glucose levels are going to decrease, to maintain into the concentration into the glucose, the body fluids that is conducting by these glucocorticoids are called as a cortisols, and generally these are also called as a stress combating hormone. The other name of these glucocorticoids is stress combating hormone here. So what is meant by the stress combating hormone means it is going to reduce the stress condition. Whenever the stress is rising into the humans, so that time the secretions of the glucocorticoids are going to rising and slowly the stress is going to reduce. So that only it is called as a stress combating hormone it is. So that only it is also called as a life saving hormone also. Whenever the glucose levels are needed, immediately it is going to activate and producing into the, so and maintains into the glucose levels here. Okay. So by the utilization of the glycogen, proteins or the lipids we are taking, sir. And these two are, the first one is the glomerulus, that is the mineral corticoid, and the fascicularis we are taking the glucocorticoid. Next one is the zona reticularis we are taking means the third zone of the cortex. We are taking means zona reticularis. Here the zona reticularis we are taking means it produces the gonadosteroids are produced. Actually the secretions of the adrenal gland all are the steroid hormones only. Already the types of the hormones we discussed about into the steroid hormones. Steroid hormones are nothing but as the basic ring is forming. The basic structure of the steroid hormones are forming by the cholesterol. These are the all cholesterol derivative forms only. So here the zona reticularis is forming the gonadosteroids are producing gonadosteroid hormones. These are okay. Generally, here we are taking to the zona reticularis producing the androgen. We are taking its androgen here. Okay, androgen is producing. So this androgen is a major component, and in this we are taking testosterone is one of the chief androgen component where testosterone is producing. So in this testosterone or in these androgens are responsible for the secondary sexual behavior and the characters here. Sexual behavior and the secondary sexual characters into the humans are under the control of these gonadosteroids only. Secondary sexual characters means you know that muscular strength is going to rise. Okay, the pitch wise into the males are going to reduce. Low pitch wise are producing. Okay, extra axial hair formation. All these are comes under the secondary sexual character we are taking. The secondary sexual characters and the muscular strength. So both are maintained by these androgens only, and not only that, these are also involving into the spermatogenesis process. These androgens are also involving into the spermatogen. That is sexual cells production we are taking is involving into the androgen we are. So like this we are taking the sexual corticoids we are taking means those are producing from the zona reticularis we are taking. Overall we are taking into the adrenal cortex region. The zona glomerulus is producing into the mineral cortex. The zona fascicularis is producing into the glucocorticoids. These glucocorticoids are involving into the carbohydrate metabolism, maintenance of the glucose into the body we are taking. And not only that, these glucocorticoids also acting as an anti-inflammatory agents here. So that means the histamine proteins productivity is going to reducing by the glucocorticoids we are taking, anti-inflammatory. So that means inflammations or into the allergies are going to reducing by the glucocorticoids we are taking. That is the major function of the mineral corticoids in the glucocorticoid. And the other one is the sexual corticoids or the sexual hormones. In the third region we are taking means so reticularis we are taking the third one, they are producing the sexual hormones. Those are nothing but as the androgens they are producing. These are involving into the secondary sexual. So these are regarding to the cortex. Next one, adrenal medullary region we are taking means adrenal medullary region. In the case of the adrenal medullary structure, which portion of the adrenal gland we call as a medullary region means at the center of adrenal gland. This is called as a medullar region. Actually, it is originating from the ectoderm, the embryonic stage developments we are taking, and it produces into the most important secretions. These are also steroid secretions only. So totally all the adrenal gland hormones are the steroid secretions only, steroid hormones only. Here what type of the secretions are producing from the medullary region of the adrenal gland means that the two types of the secretions are producing. They are the adrenaline and noradrenaline. Okay, adrenaline, noradrenaline, or these are also called as epinephrine and the norepinephrine. The other name is called as the epinephrine or the and norepinephrine. So adrenaline, these are other name is the epinephrine. Here adrenaline and the noradrenaline together we call as a emergency hormones, and the common name we call as a flight and fight hormones. These are all called as a flight and the fight hormone. What is mean by the flight and the fight hormone means whenever the emergencies are occurred, emergency situations are forming, conditions are forming, that time the secretions of the adrenaline and the noradrenaline, their concentrations are going to rising here. Okay, their concentrations are going to rising. For what purpose they are going to rising means to maintain into the continuity supplying of the glucose into the body parts into the emergency situation. So what type of the condition changes are occurs when these are producing the adrenaline and the non-adrenaline means actually when the concentration of the adrenaline and the noradrenaline, these are going to rising into the body. So when these are going to rising means emergency, that time to rising into the glucose levels in the body. Okay, these are carrying into the rising of the glucose levels into the body to continuously supplied into the ATP to the muscles we are taking means. Okay, and heartbeat is going to rising. These fight and the flight hormones are increase blood pressure here. That means heartbeat is going to rising here. Blood pressure is going to rising. Okay, rising means here not blood pressure, ma heartbeat. Actually, heartbeat is going to rising here to continuously supply more amount of the energy to the muscles we are taking means. And dilation of pupil. The pupil we are taking means it is going to dilated here in the emergency condition, and not only that, pilico erectile is also occurs here. Pilico erectile. What is mean by the pilico erectile means here nothing but as the hair follicles on the body is going to erected here. That is called as the pilico erectile condition. So these are the symptoms or these are the characters generally appears in the body at the time of the emergency, either for the fighting or the flying. Flying means run away from that particular area. Okay, escaping from their predator or the dangerous conditions we are in. So in these conditions, this adrenaline and the noradrenaline is secreted in the body to rising into the continuous supply of the energy into the muscles and their continuous contraction here. So that only these are called as a fight and the flight hormones. Okay, flight and the fight hormones here are adrenaline and the noradrenaline. These two are producing from the medullary region of the adrenal gland only. So like this we are taking adrenal gland. Cortical region, cortex region is producing the three types of the secretion, and the medullary region is producing into these two types of the hormones are. These are also a peptidal hormones only. You are taking adrenal and noradrenaline is also a peptidal hormones only. These are producing into the medullary region. We are taking this. Here we are taking means adrenaline generally it is occurs. The function is all these functions are carried out into the emergency condition. A sudden situations are occurs here. The noradrenaline we are taking means the adrenal mechanism is controlling by the noradrenaline functions in the normal situations we are taking to bring down into the person into the normal condition again after the completion of that incident is going to regulating by the noradrenaline here. These two are acting as a opposite to each other, one and each other, they are opposite like that means suppose adrenaline is rising, increasing into the heartbeat means after that it is going to decreasing by the noradrenaline. Like this they are coordinating into the body functions. Yeah. So these are regarding to the adrenal gland we are taking. Next one In the case of endocrinal glands, you are taking means pancreas. So pancreas here. The pancreas also called as a mixed gland. Pancreatic gland we are taking means it is also called as a mixed gland. The structure of the pancreas, the position of the pancreas, everything already we know that we are discussed into the digestive system. Whether you are taking into the position of the pancreas, the duodenum region, the C-shaped or the U-shaped duodenum region, a leafy structure is appears. So this is called as a pancreas. The pancreas, the major part is forming by the exocrinal part. The minor part is forming by the endocrinal part we are taking. That means 1 to 2% of the pancreas only forming by the endocrinal part here. Okay. Exocrinal part we know that exocrinal part is producing into the pancreatic juice is producing. They are having into the different types of the digestive enzymes are presented. We know that. And in the case of the endocrinal part, 1 to 2% of the glandular tissue is forming by the pancreas. Endocrinal part we are only 1 to 2% of the cells in gland is forming into the endocrinal part. In this gland, suppose you are taking the exocrinal part, we are taking means acini is presented. Exocrinal part we are taking the cells are acini structures are forming. Those glandular cells are forming into the acini structure. But in the case of the endocrinal part, we are taking endocrinal part we are taking islets of Langerhans is produced. Okay, islets of Langerhans is forming into the endocrinal part we are taking. In these islets of Langerhans or the islet cells we are taking that the two types of the cells are presented. They are the alpha cells and the beta cells. Okay, alpha cells are presented and the beta cells. Two types of the islets of the Langerhans cells are forming here. Actually these are the unit structures into the endocrinal part of the pancreas, those who are secreting into the hormones we are taking. First one, alpha cells and their secretions, beta cells and their secretions we are taking. The alpha cells we are taking means these are producing to the a hormone is called as a glucagon here. Glucagon is producing from the alpha cells we are taking, and insulin is producing from the beta cells. Insulin is producing from the beta cells here. So how they are involving into the body functions, one by one can be studied. First one is the alpha cells and their glucagon hormone we are taking. Here the glucagon hormone we are taking means it is also called as a hyperglycemic hormone. It is hyperglycemic hormone. Okay, why we call as a hyperglycemic means it is going to rising into the glucose level in blood. Suppose whenever the glucose levels are going to decreasing into the body, blood glucose levels are going to decreasing. So that condition the glucagon is secreted here. It is producing into this hormone is producing from the alpha cells. Alpha cells are secreting into the glucagon. So whenever the glucagon levels are rising into the blood, automatically what it is happening, the uptake of the glucose is reducing or stops the glucagon. The cellular uptake of the glucose is going to stops here. Why? To rising into the concentrations into the blood first of all. So the condition is happens into the glucagon where the cellular uptake is stopping, and not only that, the glyconeogenesis is occurs here. The already glycogen is there. The glycogen is going to converting into the glucose form. So with the help of the glucagon we are taking means. So this is acting into the maintenance of the to rising of the glucose level, so that only the glucagon is called as a hyperglycemic hormone here. It is called as a hyperglycemic. It rising into the glucose level we are taking. So to maintain to the glucose concentration into the body or the blood we are taking. Next one is a beta cells, insulin. So everybody knows that the insulin, we know. The insulin is involving into the glucose concentration into the blood only we are taking means. Insulin we are taking means the otherwise is called as a hypoglycemic hormone. It is also called as a hypoglycemic hormone. It is. Why given the name of the hypoglycemic means it is going to reducing into the glucose levels. Glucose levels are going to reducing into the body. Whenever the glucose levels are going to rising into the body, automatically glycogenesis process, the insulin is leads to the glycogenesis. That means whatever it is the glucose molecules or excessive amount of the glucose molecules are there. So those are converting into the glycogen in the cells of the liver, hepatocytes. That means the insulin is influencing into the hepatocytes and as well as the adipose tissue we are taking means. Hepatocytes and adipose tissue. These two tissue cells are under the influence of the insulin, so they are involving into the process here. What they are doing? Hepatocyte, the excessive amount of the glucose is going to convert into the glycogen form. Liver cells, hepatocyte means liver cells only. And suppose it is a more than that glycogen level in the liver also, the remaining excessive amount of the continuously excessive amount of the glycogen is going to adipocyte tissue, adipose cells we are taking, they are going to storing into those glycogen molecule as the adipose tissue we are taking. So this is happens into the insulin. This is a function of the insulin. Suppose the defects are occurs, the insulin concentration is going to decreasing into the body. The required quantity of the insulin is not producing. That condition, what it is happened, the glucose levels are going to rising into the blood here, and at the certain after the certain duration, the glucose is exceeds into the not only into the blood, so the excessive amount of the glucose is excreting through the urine also. Okay, excreting through the urine also we are taking. So this condition is called as a glucosuria. This condition is called as a glucosuria. That means excretion of the glucose through the urine and the ketone body is here. Not only the glucose, ketone body. Ketone body is also there excreted. Actually, this condition is called as a diabetes mellitus we are taking. This condition is nothing but as a diabetes. Generally commonly called as a diabetes. Or diabetes mellitus condition occurs because of the lack of the insulin. Diabetes mellitus condition is forming here. The diabetes mellitus means not properly controlling the glucose levels into the blood. So when it is occurs, the beta cellular secretions are going to reducing into the body here. So this is the major two secretions are releasing from the pancreatic endocrinal part we are taking, and their functions we are taking. That means maintenance of the glucose levels in the body. So whenever they are required, the concentration rising to the glucose level, that time glucagon is involving. Whenever the glucose levels are going to decrease, glucagon is involving. whenever the glucose levels are going to rise, that time insulin is involving to regulating into the proper concentration into the blood we are taking. So this is regarding to the pancreas and their secretions we are taking.